House Chair, as MK will never stand in the way of job creation, especially for Black and Black women. However, House Chair, we have to be practical. Despite what the Deputy Minister has tried to explain, the GNU has no budget. Why on earth are we appointing people without a budget? How are we going to pay them? The role of councillors have been weakened and they fall short of performing their function within ICASA. There's been a long history of inefficiency, mismanagement, and allegations of corruption. House Speaker, the institution has failed to deliver on its regulatory mandate. And unfortunately, this entity has been given such a large and very important responsibility in this country. Our country's telecommunications depends on this entity. Our country's digital participation, especially of the poorest of the poor, depends on this entity. Our country's digital inclusion depends on this entity. But House Speaker, ICASA's councillors have always been bullied by white monopoly capital, and they have failed to rise above party patronage and corruption. And unfortunately, the GNU has never helped and have not even delivered a budget to assist these councillors to fulfill this mandate. If MK's votes were not stolen, if we had our votes and were in government, House Speaker will immediately change ICASA in its current form. We are going to remove every councillor who has not undergone IQ tests, including the minister and the deputy minister that is overseeing this ministry. They have failed to meet the digital deadlines. They have failed to protect SAPO and its workers. They have failed to roll out connectivity to schools. Since 2015, 4,000 schools were supposed to be connected. Our children are passing matric without digital and future skills that will allow them to participate in the digital economy. To date, only 599 schools are connected. And we want us to approve and commend these councillors. They have failed to enforce compliance on the telcos for social obligations to roll out broadband to the most rural areas of this country. House Speakers, this ship is sinking very fast. And to hear speakers here from the ANC and the DA to come and cry about their marital problems, this is serious abuse to us, House Speaker. If you don't stop this, we are not here to listen to their house issues. They must go back and sort out their issues. We are here to conduct the business of the house to serve the South Africans. Now, this is what we want to say to the councillors. We want transparency and we want fairness in awarding licenses. We want you to enforce and regulate the social obligations of telcos, otherwise revoke these licenses that are held by the white monopoly capital. Let's give it to the Black people that will implement broadband and digital inclusivity for our children. Let us ensure that SABC and other free-to-air broadcasters have sports broadcasting rights. We want these councillors to ensure that SAPO, South African Post Office, survives, get rid of these business rescue practitioners who are extorting money from the entity, dismantle the monopoly of the telcos and allow SMMEs to operate, remove the barriers of entry into the telecommunications industry for our people. We want these councillors to deliver on the digital promise that has been promised by this GNU government. House Speaker, our last advice to this
Honorable
councillors,
Makubele, your time has expired.
they should not.
Thank you very much, House Chairperson. As the EFF, we followed the process keenly of the filling of the vacancies at ICASA. As we navigate a digital age where many ordinary South Africans are being left behind, although there was much broader consensus regarding the 4 names to fill these vacancies, as the EFF, we maintain that the retention of one specific councillor represents an anomaly that should not repeat itself, as it is a rewarding of failure for the many regulatory duties that were not seen through by this previous councillor. There are key priorities that the ICASA Council should focus on moving forward. And this includes fast-tracking the review of phenomenon of the expiry of prepaid airtime and data. As the EFF, we have engaged the mobile network operators on what informs the methodology of expiration of unused prepaid airtime and data, And subsequent to that, we have engaged ICASA as well on the reasons behind this exploitative practice. The justification that this is simply industry practice is unsatisfactory. ICASA, to its credit, has stated that they are reviewing this and we will monitor those developments closely, because to us, the expiry of data that has been bought by South Africans and not used within a certain period of time expiring is the same as if you buy a loaf of bread at ShopRite, and if you don't eat it in 3 days, ShopRite comes to collect it. It's ridiculous, it's exploitative, and it is something that must be looked into. So we are going to focus on the current mandates that must be pursued by ICASA. Additionally, ICASA must consider the risks posed by the introduction of satellite network operators to jobs and local mobile network industries, and conduct impact assessments as to the consequences of the introduction of entities such as Starlink in South Africa. Recent developments, hostilities, and misinformation campaigns led by Starlink owner Elon Musk mean that the risks posed by Starlink far outweigh its self-proclaimed benefits, both in terms of local economic development and in terms of national security implications, and in particular with regards to data integrity. An individual who has declared a non-existent white genocide in South Africa cannot have access to the data of millions of South Africans and control our telecommunications networks and infrastructure. We have already suffered sanctions at the behest of Elon Musk, and we cannot give him control over our telecommunications infrastructure and give him the power to switch our networks on and off as he pleases while he operates from the White House. ICASA's role is of national importance now more than ever, and considering recent violent, irresponsible commentary which must be condemned by all against a popular individual by a particular podcaster, one of the mandates that ICASA must consider is ensuring that there's regulation of the podcast industry and alternative media. Freedom of expression should not constitute freedom to undermine the integrity and dignity of women. Thank you very much.